Good afternoon. Welcome to this licensing regulatory panel of Allerdale Borough Council. My name is Lee Jardine, and for the purposes of this meeting, I am the host, and I'm also the Democratic Services Officer. This meeting will be live streamed on YouTube up until the private item, which we'll come on to in a moment, and a recording will be made available afterwards of that. Before we get started, we'll do some introductions, starting with the members. Councillor Daniels.
Councillor Alan Daniels, good afternoon.
Councillor Granger.
Councillor Malcolm Granger.
Councillor Horsley.
Good afternoon, Councillor Daniel Horsley.
Councillor Smith.
Good afternoon, Councillor Alan Smith.
And Councillor Wilkinson.
Good afternoon, Councillor Wilkinson.
Thank you. And now over to the officers. Jill Morgan.
Good afternoon, Jill Morgan, Legal and Licensing Manager.
Deborah Fletcher.
Good afternoon, Deborah Fletcher, Licensing and Compliance Officer.
Lindsay Tomlinson.
Good afternoon, Lindsay Tomlinson, Deputy Monitoring Officer.
Thanks everyone for your introductions. Before we get the meeting started, what we have to do is item number 1, election of chair. Could I have a nomination for chair, please?
I would like to nominate Councillor Granger as chair.
Thank you. Is that seconded by any member?
Seconded. I'll say that, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. Councillor Wilkinson, Councillor Horsley, unless you say otherwise, we'll proceed with this. Okay, thank you. Over to you, Chair, to start the meeting, to resume with the meeting at item number 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Item number 2, apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chair. We had apologies from Councillor Mumby, who's been replaced today by Councillor Daniels.
Thank you. Item 3, declaration of interest. Councillors, staff to give notice of any disclosable pecuniary interest, other registrable interest, or any other interest, and the nature of that interest relating to any item on the agenda in accordance with the adopted code of conduct.
I'd like to raise an interest, Chair. I had some involvement with the only agenda item today regarding a prosecution, but in my capacity as Legal and Licensing Manager, that won't affect anything in terms of advice that I give today.
Jill, thank you. Any more? No.
It doesn't appear to be any more, Chair.
Thank you. Item 4, questions. To answer questions from the members of the public submitted in writing or by electronic mail no later than 5 p.m. 2 working days before the meeting.
No questions received, Chair.
So, that under section 100A(4) of the Local Government Act 1972, the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items on the grounds that they may involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 1 of part 1 of schedule 12A of the Act.
Members, unless you state otherwise, we'll move into part 2 of the meeting. Okay. For those watching on